That's something you don't see every day.
You may be cool, but you will never be nun in full habit wielding a chainsaw cool.
That'll convert you to Catholicism.
We'll explain in a minute. Hey, good morning, everybody, and good morning on Facebook. Yes, no, that is actually a nun. Good morning, Wendy. Amazing stuff coming up today. First of all, we've got the Morning Mountain Canvas brought to you by Black Diamond Experts, Electric, Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Okay, number one, good reasons that perhaps you were not meant to fly. Number two, Selena Gomez got a kidney transplant. You will never believe who from.
She didn't.
No, and who from is the weird part.
When did this happen?
Just barely. They have the cutest picture of her in the hospital, and she's holding the hands of her donor. It's really sweet.
It's not Bieber, is it? Why the face?
How could you even say a thing like that?
Wow.
After everything he did to her, he broke her heart.
Is Orrin Hatch a pothead? We're going to find out.
Wow. Oh, this is...
And yet another pilot thing about a guy who really shouldn't fly. All right, that's all coming up this morning.
So this epic nun, she's the one who's cleaning up from
Miami.
Hurricane Irma, right?
Yeah, Miami, and she's out there, and the police and the rescue guys came around the corner, and, here she is in her full habit, regalia. And rosaries hanging off her belt and the works, and she's just out there.
Well, in the nunnery, though, in the convent, you have to do all the stuff. And if you look at her, she's totally she's got her gloves on, she's ready to go.
She looks like she's done this before.
But yeah, in the convent, they have to do all the heavy duty work because there really aren't any men around to do handyman stuff. So a lot of the sisters learn really, intensive stuff like chainsawing.
And all the monks,
she was out there just hacking it all out.
All the monks are in there going, oh.
I think she's so boss.
Look at you.
I'm sorry. I love her so much. She's cool. So I'm sorry.
All right. You're going to explain.
Oh, good morning, Ann. Hope everything's going okay. Ann was down in Hurricane Irma's path. She just said good morning on Facebook. Are you okay today? Give us the details. I'm dying to know.
All right.
I'm sorry. Go on.
Sir, Roy, let's start with bad plane things.
Yeah, we should.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, I don't actually have that when you do, sweetheart.
I'll find it.
This was a really dramatic landing, and we actually, our very own Nancy at GetPowerDaily.com caught these pictures.
Oh my gosh!
Which is incredible. Look, there's nothing left of this thing, and the two guys walked out of it almost unscratched.
Well, there's a guy and a girl, a 63-year-old pilot and a 43-year-old female driver. And driver isn't the wrong passenger is what.
Passenger is what they meant.
Or fellow victim. They walked away. This thing burst into flames on contact.
I mean, wow.
And that's just unbelievable. 45th South and 1900 West. It's hit one car. The wheel hit one car, spun the car around, which is good because it got the car out of the way.
Yeah, fortunately.
Then the plane lands and it ignites. That's what's left.
I've never seen anything like that.
You could fit that in a pickup truck.
And they walked away.
They walked away.
They walked away. I mean, that's the thing that's just amazing to me.
Just some crazy small plane stuff going on. There's another.
This is another guy who really maybe wants to rethink his hobbies in his retirement because I'm thinking maybe gardening, whittling.
Yeah.
Juggling chainsaws might be a little less dangerous than what this guy decided to do.
This is in Charleston, North Carolina. West Virginia, excuse me. This guy crashed his plane.
Wrong guy. That's another story.
This is the update of the pilot who crashed twice in 2 days.
No, it was in one. I thought it was in 1 day.
2 days.
Two emergency landings in 2 days.
So basically, he bought the plane 2 weeks ago, right?
And he's all excited, like, I'm going to go out and try this sucker out,
and
I'm sure.
the plane has sat for a while, and that's not something you really want to mess with. And maybe it was fuel, or maybe it was something. And so, boom, he takes off. He lands on the interstate because his engine dies.
Wow. Okay.
First of all, the FAA hates that.
Yeah, that whole landing on the street. They really think that sucks.
Dismantle the plane, take the wings off, put it on a flatbed, bring it back to the airport. Now they put it back together. The guy goes, hey, I really want this to go. And so in the meanwhile, the FAA called the owner, registered owner, which was the guy who sold it. And he goes, not me, I'm out.
I'm out of this one.
So the mechanic works on the plane. And the guy gets in, and he takes off again. And the engine dies. And guess where he lands? On the freeway.
At least he knows how to do an emergency landing. He's had a lot of practice now, and I think that's a good, a good sign.
Okay,
but
here's the problem. The problem is, I've fixed boats. Let's say I fix cars, and I fix some RVs and stuff, and I've done my repairs. Okay, do I get on I-15? No.
You maybe try it out first
around
on a quiet road, see if it works out for you.
Find a rotary and just keep going. if I've worked on boat engines. Now, when I fix the boat, do I put it on a trailer, take it to the Pacific Ocean? No. Take it to Rockport Reservoir. Get in the shallow end. Put it around in a circle.
How's it working? Is it working for me? Good. Yeah.
Hey, Chuck, did you fix it? Yeah, I think.
It'll be fine.
Go for it.
Anytime you hear a mechanic go, it's going to be fine in that tone, I don't think you should be taking off.
Because I get some extras.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that good. Oh, before you go into this next story, Ann Byland, one of our
two crashes in 2 days.
Ann Byland, who's one of our Facebook friends down in Florida, I was asking her how everything was. She said, I'm good, minor damage, and power was restored yesterday afternoon, feeling very lucky, she said, especially if you take a look at down at the Florida Keys.
Oh.
And
where was she?
She's down in Florida, so I was just really worried about her, and so she was nice enough to drop a comment and let us know what was going on.
Everyone is getting incredibly uncomfortable and anxious about getting back into the Keys, and they won't let them. They kicked them out of the harbor. The harbor's closed by the
Coast
Guard?
Guard? Yeah, well, the water system's compromised, so they've had a lot of problems there. The bridge has actually sustained minor damage, the ones that leapfrog between the Keys.
But the issue with the harbor, he says, dinghies or boats, we can't, because they might thought, I'll just go in by the ocean. They can't do it. There are masts sticking up everywhere. And there's always
from
submerged
sunken boats.
And there's still oil slicks from the gas and the oil in the engines that's bubbling to the surface. Not gigantic, but enough. So they kicked him out of there, and people are just getting ticked off because they said, I got to go see my house.
Well, there was one guy down in Key West who, I guess, had weathered out. He's 65, and he stays because of his business. He's like, I can't leave. And he says he's weathered, I think it was 9 hurricanes. He said, after Irma, I will never try again. He says, I'll just leave. The storm can take my business because I will never do this again.
I watched CNN, and there's no cell service. And CNN, brilliantly, and a service, and a little self-serving, walked around with a satellite phone.
Oh, cool.
And
you want to call somebody, let them know you're alive?
And they would film them.
Oh, but that's so cool, though.
Yeah.
But still, it doesn't matter. You know they're alive.
Yeah, when the guy goes, I'm alive, I'm okay, tell everybody in the family.
That's the first 2 words you really want to hear from anyone who's calling you from a hurricane path. You know?
And the second one...
Just mention I'm alive first.
And the second one was, it's effing hot.
Oh, yeah, they had...
And that was a nun.
Stop. Speaking of effing hot, though, they have the hurricanes, but we have the wildfires.
Right.
And, you know, Oregon's gone through, I mean, even a worse summer than we have here in Utah, which is brutal. And here's the best part of it.
What?
Apparently it was a Utahns' fault. And so that's just got to make you feel super
not
excellent.
Fault. Fault is like an accident.
Like he tripped and fell over.
Yeah.
Do you have the story? Because it just about killed me.
They caught him because he was driving a stolen car. There he is.
There he is with a simple-minded smile. Hey, I'm just having fun, light and stuff.
And he decided to go up and set 3 fires in Oregon, and now he's being charged with endangerment.
Massive amount of damage.
The whole 1,200 acres, I think, was one of them. So it's not like super gigantic, but it's horrible.
It's a ton of damage.
Stolen car, doing all kinds of stuff like that. Right, so
and he seems so happy with that mugshot.
Yay.
Thank you. That's so much for that.
Go Utah.
Yeah, really. Sorry, we came from here. He's in custody, so that's good. All right, let's go to Daisy in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink & McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you can find out all kinds of options for different mortgages that you could qualify for, and somebody will call you back from Fink & McGregor within 1 business day. Also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Since we're speaking of disasters, these are the guys that are the experts. 24-hour service. If you need them, they will come to you. AllUtahPlumbing.com. Daisy, my darling, what is going on today?
Hello, everyone. Here's what's making headlines Thursday, September 14th on GephardtDaily.com. Salt Lake City Mayor Jackie Biskupski says an internal investigation shows 2 Salt Lake City police officers involved in the arrest of a University of Utah hospital nurse last July violated multiple department and city policies. The internal affairs investigation revealed the officers breached at least 6 policies during the arrest, while ultimately taking part in conduct unbecoming police employees. Biskupski said a second investigation conducted by a civilian review board had similar findings. The 2 officers have 20 days to respond to the allegations. At that point, Salt Lake Police Chief Mike Brown will decide whether the men keep their jobs. A Salt Lake City man has been booked into an Oregon jail after investigators found evidence connecting him to multiple wildfires. Christopher Glenn Wilson, 37, is charged with 3 counts of arson, along with use of a stolen vehicle. Police say a number of leads put him at the scene of 4 Oregon wildfires in late August, one of which burned more than 1,200 acres. Police believe Wilson may also be responsible for other fires in the Northwest this summer. They're asking anyone with information on Wilson's whereabouts this summer to call Oregon State Police. And finally, Utah Senator Orrin Hatch says he's backing a bill that would ease restrictions on studies involving the benefits of medical marijuana. The 83-year-old lawmaker said it was, quote, high time the federal government sanctioned the testing, which would lead to treatments of chronic medical conditions. Proponents of medical marijuana are already spearheading a 2018 ballot initiative to legalize medical marijuana in the state of Utah. If the measure passes, Utah physicians would be allowed to prescribe marijuana for various medical conditions, including epilepsy, cancer, chronic pain, autism, and PTSD. And now let's take a look at the Wasatch Front forecast, where we're going to see a 20-degree drop in temperatures from earlier this week. The high Thursday will be in the low 80s before we drop to the mid to upper 60s Friday and Saturday. Low temps over the weekend will be in the upper 40s. Say it ain't so. That's it for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to gebhardtdaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right, thanks, Daisy. This morning, the perfect word, blustery. That's the kind of weather we're having this morning.
Blustery.
We're driving down State Street, about 90th South yesterday, and who did we see driving next to us? All Utah Plumbing. All Utah Plumbing. There was John right in the seat driving his big yellow truck. You've seen it before. And so we were waving at him, and I don't know. I have a new truck, so I don't know if he knew we were just another fan of All Utah Plumbing. And so anyway, I wanted to tell you about them really quick, because if you are looking for a plumber, these are the people you want to go to. They have all the equipment, all the fancy tools. They got the scopes. They can put something down your sewer line and see what's down there. And go ahead and fix it or check it off the list. Furnace inspections. They do a whole house thing, down to faucets, down to a new toilet. And John can carry it by himself, which is a really awkward thing to carry, but he can handle it. So, first of all, if you see the truck, it's yellow, and it has that symbol on it, All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Just honk at him, because it drives him crazy, I think. Okay, so just do that. He's a nice person, but let's freak him out. All right? All right, so Equifax.
What do they call them now? The credit tards?
I made that
That's
up.
hysterical.
I made that up. Thank you.
Thank you. It was good.
Are we on the list, do we know?
The data breach?
One of the 3 credit unions, the credit.
Equifax is one of the big 3. There's TransUnion,
Right.
there's Equifax, and then there's Experian.
Yeah, these are the 3 people who don't allow you to buy a car.
They pretty much determine your life.
Or
And
a
if there's a
house.
mistake on your credit rating, then
Right.
yeah.
So they kind of tracked it back to the problem.
Oh, good. And this was a massive data breach. It was 143 million Americans.
Right.
And of
in
course-
Canada, in the United Kingdom, and now they can scratch off Argentina. They kind of pegging Argentina in a special way, because the South America operations, they disclosed the breach involving the business units in North America. Mm-hmm. Here's the problem.
Something incredibly high tech, like there's some
Yeah.
sort of new algorithm or
You would think
new technology that's managed, like a black
something
box kind of thing that can get in under.
Crazy,
Yeah.
some decoding, deciphering,
Yeah. Retinal scan.
Retinal scan
scan.
thing. Yeah, no. It didn't take long for them to discover what the problem was. And all the employees in Argentina managed credit report disputes. And they had decided as a password on the entire thing was to use admin/admin.
Which is
The equivalent of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
the most common starter.
So easy to guess.
That's the one they give you when they open your email, and then you have to change it. And
Right.
it was admin.
Yeah.
for one of the 3 biggest credit reporting bureaus in the world.
Yeah,
Who
and so
keeps all of our personal information.
So this is where it gets vague for me. You'll probably understand. So the employees, they all changed their passwords.
Oh, good.
But
Well,
by right-clicking, you could actually see them.
are you serious?
They would display the raw HTML code. See, the people in the back room are laughing at me right now because they know computers and I don't. And just a matter of a couple clicks, and they had their passwords again because admin. So
That is the saddest thing I've ever heard.
one of the guys that was testifying. This is about a year ago. Was talking about the United States government and their security stuff, and with their computers and how well they're protected. And he said they're using the same software that they did 10 years ago when he went to college.
That doesn't seem good to me. You would think these would be the people that would make the CIA jealous with their technology.
Right,
I mean,
right.
the fact that they are entrusted unwillingly on most
And
of our
they've been
parts.
given the money to upgrade, but they said, we haven't got to it yet. Too busy buying $2 million toilet seats.
Wow.
$10,000 hammers.
You know, I really did think it was bad enough when they had the nerve to say, "Oh yeah, we'll do a credit monitoring for you.
Equifax.
It's going to cost you $20, and you have to promise not to sue us." It's like, but you're the reason we got in trouble in the first place.
And as we talked yesterday, Utah is now the 3rd state in on a
Class action
suit against them.
I think it's $5 billion or something.
It's something crazy.
It's not enough.
If you are hungry this morning, you might want to just redirect your eyes, but just listen about Christopher's Steakhouse. They are an incredible place to go, and if you haven't been there before, Pierpont, aren't they?
Yes.
And it is like...
A, it's gorgeous. B, everything there smells. The minute you walk in, you're dying because it smells so utterly delicious.
I like the setting.
And they have all these glasses, all these wines by the glass. They've got this massive selection, beautiful wine cellar.
Wait staff, and the food are just unbelievable.
The steaks are like appallingly delicious.
So
and the nice thing is, if you're part of the Insiders Club, you get 25% off your first meal there, and you get free fillets on your birthday every year.
What?
You can just click on their website and see it there, Insiders
The
Club.
reason we're doing this is to say thank you, this little giveaway, this little treat for thank you for sticking with us and moving over from radio to a digital platform. And we want to thank you very much because we have way too many of you watching, and I should dress better. I'm trying to work with my hair a little bit. So anyway.
I think it looks very nice.
Thank you very much. All right, coming up.
You have to tell them how they enter, which is basically, if you'd like to enter to win the Christopher's dinner for you and 3 friends, just go to any one of our 3 Facebook pages, Gephardt Daily, Gephardt Approved, or the Todd and Erin Facebook pages. Just mention right now, since we're talking about it, hey, I really like Christopher's, and boom, you're done, you're ready to go, you're all finished.
There is a trough full of things going on this weekend, and you and Daisy are going to tell us what they are coming up next.
Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts, electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. Fink and McGregor, mortgages made simple. Make sure you go to fink-mcgregor.com and try out their 4-minute mortgage program. It's incredibly easy to find out whether you qualify.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is actually available anytime at GephardtDaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
Hello. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
The pink lipstick's very nice. I like it.
Different lipstick.
I like it a lot.
Whole long story. I ran out of my usual color, so I had to plumb the depths of my enormous reserve makeup bag.
You actresses, you always have these massive kits, and I don't think you ever use much of it, but you just have it in case you need it.
Mine's all in a bag, and the bag is so big. I should bring it down one day. It's like a
Oh, I know. Take a tour through Daisy's
this.
makeup
Oh,
bag. Yeah.
so much stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you. It
I
tastes
like
good
it.
too.
It's like the Va Va Voom shade. It really is.
Very fuchsia. Is it fuchsia? It's very
It's very fuchsia. Yeah, I can see
very
that.
pink. Very pink.
Do that
I
again
like-
like that. What?
Very pink. I don't even know what that is.
I don't know, but it was really good. All right, there's a boatload of stuff going on, but before we do it, there's one really cool thing. Selena Gomez, who I actually like, and she's one of those, the reason I like her, she's one of those singers who always posts irate stuff on Twitter, and she has no shame in using swear words, like,
Right.
leave this guy the F alone, or blah, blah, blah. She's very good and fierce and stands up for her friends. Well, one of her friends actually came through for her. This is so weird. She had to have a kidney transplant because of her lupus. You know how that can attack internal organs, and they said, you're only 25, but you have to have one now. Now, then you go through the kidney donor list, and then you try to find out who could be a match, and all the drama and all the terror of that. It turned out her very best friend that she's known her entire life, Francia Reza, was a perfect match. And so they barely had the kidney transplant. And can you guys show the picture? It is the prettiest picture. It's the two of them lying there together in the hospital, holding hands.
Look at that.
Isn't that the sweetest thing ever? And she says, I'm very aware that some of my friends have noticed I was laying low for the summer, asking why I wasn't promoting my new music, because I was really proud about it. But I found out I needed to get a kidney transplant due to my lupus. It's what I needed to do for my overall health. So until then, I want to publicly thank my family and my friends and my doctors. But finally, there can't be words to describe how I can possibly thank my beautiful friend, Francia Reza. She gave me the ultimate gift and sacrifice by donating her kidney. I am incredibly blessed.
That's amazing.
A kidney transplant is like, I've been through this with a couple of friends who have done it. This is like the biggest thing you can do. They go through like an entire half of your body. They cut through the entire thing. It is a serious, intense surgery to donate a kidney.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
And I do respect like her and people like Demi Lovato and stuff, the fact that they, Selena Gomez also has been very open about her battles with anxiety, and I think she was in rehab for a little bit. And she, I do really respect that kind of forthright, nature of stars like that are kind of opening up, because they're such role models for little girls, and
exactly.
It's cool that they that she doesn't have to share this,
because it's a very personal thing. I mean, no question. But I love that. But you're exactly right, though, in the fact that they're not doing this. You have to be fake and perfect, because it's so easy to be photoshopped in this world now, and especially in entertainment. And there's no human being who's ever going to look like they actually do on stage. So for them to be honest and say, these are the problems that I'm facing, and it's okay. You are still whole and you're still beautiful. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, and she has a big scar. I was looking at Insta just before we came on, and it looks like she's got like a big all the way around.
Yeah, they cut it in the sternum all the way to the spine. It's huge. So that's wow. You would have to be a really good friend.
Oh yeah.
You would have to really like somebody.
I would do that.
Would you really?
Yeah, I would.
Even for like a stranger and you found out you were a perfect match?
No, not a stranger. Maybe if they gave me a bunny, I would. I'd be like, I'll give you my kidney if you get me a big floofy bunny, and then we'd have a deal.
You do it for a bunny?
Yeah.
Okay.
My kidney for a bunny. Wouldn't you? Or an animal that you chose? Maybe a goat, because you said you like goats last week.
I do like goats, but I'm not really sure it's a fair transfer. I probably couldn't assign a value, so I'd probably have to leave out the barnyard animals.
Yeah, maybe like lots of goats. You could say. Well, anyway,
I'd do it for a bunny.
Tell us on Facebook what animal would you trade for a kidney?
You always incapacitate me on the weekend updates, but it's usually further into
Because I get off on these weird tracks of like.
Okay, all right, we're gonna work this, I swear. Yeah. Okay, you start.
Yes. Okay, beer and ballet.
What a beautiful combination.
What a beautiful combination.
It's pleasing symmetry because you have something for both sexes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking on my way in today. The ladies have their ballet, and then all the gentlemen can drink their beers. And this is on Saturday, 6 till 9 at the Rose Wagner, which we've talked about before.
Love
right
that
downtown,
place. Yeah,
kind of
beautiful.
by P.F. Chang's and Squatters and all that. And it's $35-$40, but you get craft beers from Epic Brewing.
Nice.
And then appetizers from Blue Iguana, which is really good.
Very nice.
And then you get to see like a sneak peek of some of the work that company members are choreographing for an event early next year.
I have to admit, I like seeing that stuff better than even the full performance, because I just like seeing the genesis of how they started the idea. That to me is the coolest thing,
And Ballet West, I mean, oh my God, they're just my favorite. Like the dancers are so amazing. They're a great company.
I mean, they're internationally acclaimed, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah, they really are. And it's just a cool, I like the idea of going to an event like this because then you can chat to other ballet lovers and
Yes, I
talk
feel
about
very-
jetés and
You're drinking beer and feeling kind of smart.
yes, yeah, exactly.
I know, right?
So I think there's still tickets left. Ballywest.org, and if you're not a drinker, you can also go and have non-alcoholic.
Well, of course.
Stuff.
It's only fair. Now, the next one, this was a really interesting one, and my brother-in-law Bill actually champions this a lot on radio, but this is a big deal, this fundraising walk. And this is National Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month, and so this is the time.
Yes, and this came to my attention because of Mason Smith's family, the missing teen out of St. George, and his mom was telling me that they are coming up from St. George to do the walk.
That's wonderful.
They're all going to be wearing blue, and I think they're wearing Mason t-shirts. So, go say hi to them. She's a hugger. Go give her a hug if you see her at the walk. But this is also Saturday, 9 till 1 in Liberty Park, and basically it benefits the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So that's fantastic. And the thing that I thought was quite cool is, so the website for this is afsp.donordrive.com. I'll pop it up on Facebook so you guys can
Good,
go
thank you.
there. So you've got if you're listening to it now and you think, oh, that'd be a great thing to do, but is it too late? It's not too late. You can register on that website until noon Friday, but then you can also register in person.
On site?
Yeah.
Good,
So you
good,
can
good,
go
good.
from the time check-in begins until the walk starts, which I think is maybe 7 till 9. Walk starts at 9.
For people like me who don't plan ahead, that's a very valuable thing.
So that it starts in an hour. You can just run down and register and walk. And getting behind a cause like this, whether or not you've been directly affected by it, is super important.
Well, given the fact that we're one of the 5 highest states for suicide in the nation, I think pretty much everybody has been affected by it, and that's the heartbreaking part of it. Is like, why here, and why is it so prevalent? Why is it so much worse here? And so you're right about not, and it's maybe goes back to the same thing with Selena Gomez and the other singers, is that you don't have to be perfect. And I think we have that massive pressure here of, well, you just don't really, fit in. You don't really measure up to everybody else. And then I think, I think that's a huge problem where people really need more help than they're willing to ask for because they're expected to be perfect here.
Yeah.
So
and walks like that. I mean, I walk in Liberty Park because we live quite near there, and every time I walk and there's a event like this on, the solidarity is amazing. That you go and you do the walk, and then there's music and food, and people can talk, and just for meeting other people that might have gone through similar things or anything like that. I think it's a really cool event. So
I'm really glad you talked about it.
yeah,
That's you're right. Until it's not a secret anymore, it's going to keep happening. So that's wonderful.
so that's cool. Yeah.
All right, Fairy Tale Festival. This is up at the Centrepointe Legacy Festival. This starts also on Saturday at 10. It's also Friday if you'd like to go. The price is like $1 to $35, depending on how fancy you want to get. But a lot of the activities are free. But this is really sweet. They came up with the point of Albert Einstein said, if you want your child to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be even more intelligent, read them even more fairy tales.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that
I've
sweet?
never heard that
I know.
quote.
So they have all these different readers, and they're telling all these different fairy tale stories from all around the world, which I think is like such an amazing cultural way to understand, the genesis of everybody else's history. But and then they have all of these different things, like you can get made up, you can create, fairy tale hats and fairy tale props. They have like a princess ball, but it's really fun. I thought that would be a cool thing.
What if
to
you
take
don't have a
kids.
child but you want to go?
You get to be the princess.
Okay.
It's only fair.
Okay.
Also on Saturday down at the Gateway, it's the Festa Italiana. And this is, you don't really hear a lot from the Italian population, or maybe we just don't pay enough here, but we have a huge Italian population.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And so this is really fun. Free admission. They have Italian food, wine and beer, music, luxury Italian cars, and motorcycles, the Ducatis.
Why didn't I know about
The
this?
Ducatis, I love those motorcycles.
I am so there.
Right, Saturday and Sunday. So
Okay.
stop on by. They've got everything there, and once again, it's free admission, and they have a lot of free sampling things too.
Ooh, and guess what? My wedding anniversary is Sunday, and Jay is Italian, so I think you might have just solved a problem for me.
That is pleasing symmetry, and it's almost like you thought about it.
And it's on Sunday, right?
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday.
There we go.
See?
Sorted. Another busy weekend. It never lets up.
I
does
know,
it?
and so much of it is free and accessible too, which is what I love. See, we've solved all your problems,
Yep.
all of them.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, coming up tomorrow, it's International Chocolate Day, and you and Todd are going to be doing a sample off, just so you know.
Okay, I can do that.
Just just prepare, maybe walk an extra mile today.
Yeah, that
it's going to
sounds
be
hard.
a lot of chocolate.
Yeah.
All right.
Love it.
All right, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. But first of all, Black Diamond, these are the experts. Now, when you're talking about experts, the thing is, when you want someone in your house and something's screwed up, you want to know that they actually got trained in it and you didn't get somebody who just picked up a toolbox. These are the guys who are licensed, bonded, and insured. You let them in and you feel comfortable having them in your house. They take good care of everything, and then they'll fix the problem. Now, when they give you a bid, it's going to be what you pay at the end. Because if you've ever gone through this with other service people, and I have many times, all of a sudden there's surprising fees that show up at the end, and you can pay almost double what the original bid was. They don't do that to you. It's like, this is what we say, and we stand by what we say. So by the way, they have a new office now in Ogden, too. It makes it even easier. 24-hour service. Just go to blackdiamondexpert.com. And coming up, this is going to be pretty cool. You're back.
I'm back.
What did we miss?
Nothing. I just walked off, and Brandon's like, "No, you need to be there because your chair is now empty." So I was
It's
like,
for
"Okay." I'll come back."
continuity.
Everything continuity.
Right?
Everything's going
Okay, so,
horribly
all right.
wrong.
Let's
That was
pretend.
settled.
Let's pretend this didn't happen. All right. Okay. Forget. I'll leave. Nothing has happened. All right. Tell them what's coming up next.
Yeah, okay.
That was smooth.
You know, that's pretty much how we roll here, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay. Let's wrap this up.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, coming up next, finding me time as a new mom. It's really beautiful. It's gonna make you want to string.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
Don't worry about it. Hey, welcome back, Todd and Erin morning.
Look, it's continuity. There's two of us on the set.
No, come. I want you to look behind us at the morning cam. That's not what it's like outside. Now, I'm not saying that that's pre-recorded because it's
What's
not.
wrong with it? It's
They
blustery.
use their special magic voodoo on the camera and open the iris, I don't know. And we let more light in, I don't know. And so it makes it all look like really nice and bright. And it's not. It's blustery and gray. But for some reason, the magical hoodoo people out here
I
can
like
make
that
it
better.
look like that.
No.
No, because
I prefer that.
it's misleading. People
no,
are
I
leaving the house going, "Damn you, Todd and Erin."
a
got me again.
light summer frock will be fine. And that's just the guys, so that's
Yeah.
good. Sorry about that.
Have you had kids?
Okay,
Have you not had kids? Because if you've not had kids, you'll think the thing I'm about to present to you is absolutely true.
now I'd like to say that this writer probably presented this with the best of intentions.
Best of intentions.
And I have a very hard time believing she's ever given birth. I'll
Never.
explain why.
Oh, you
Go
want to do
on.
that coming up next? No, let's do it right now. You want
Yeah,
to?
we should.
Let's do it. Finding me time as a mother of a young child.
You know, there was a time.
And how possible it is.
There was a time that Todd and I, our twin boys, regressed into autism when they were about 2.5. They were born neurotypical, hit all the milestones. But when they regressed, we started going to different conferences and trying to learn more about autism and what we needed to do. And it's literally any parent with a child with special needs knows this is a 24/7 gig. I mean,
Well,
it's
all kids are 24/7.
all kids are, but there's a level of
Right.
intensity that. And there was a guy in our discussion group who said to Todd with complete sincerity, "Do you make time for self?" And I thought Todd was going to go across the table at him. I'm like, so
And there's two of us.
most parents are probably going, what would that be? But anyway, go
But
ahead, read
now,
your suggestions.
All
Will this
of
help?
that's been solved.
Okay, I want to hear.
All right. You're drinking a little tiny water like you're a giant. Here we go. Take advantage of your time alone. When would that?
I'm wondering about that too.
Erin used to hide in the bathroom.
No, it was the walk-in closet.
And when I'd knock, she wouldn't answer. She actually put a locking doorknob on the walk-in closet.
Two things that relax
All young children nap, correct? Huge.
Zachary and
silly-
McLean didn't sleep through the night till 4,
Oh my god.
and I don't remember naps.
This is putting them to bed. They have a crib on either side, and I would lay on the floor, and I would sing 4 green yellow frogs sitting on a hollowed log.
Oh, do you remember when I slept on the couch with Zoe for 6 months?
Eating some nice delicious bugs. And so And then you get them, you think to sleep. And I'd sing that like 60 times. And then you do this military crawl on your belly out of the room like this. And Erin did the same thing. And then every once in a while, one of us would yell upstairs and say, "Hey, Erin, do you know where the book is for the taxes thing?" The kids would wake up.
And I adore,
Then you'd end up with a knife in your back.
I adore these suggestions. She's like, do some things that relax you, like, sneak in your daily exercise routine or have a
Right.
nice, soothing bubble bath.
Right. While your kids nap.
Go on. This is great.
This is for kids when they're a little older.
Okay.
I'm hoping.
Sure.
Choose a store that's kid-friendly. Because going to the store can be infuriating, it says here, but no, it's not. It doesn't make me mad. It just makes you frustrated.
Well, Smith's
Because they kind of get bored, it says here.
Oh, that's so cute.
So it's not like you take your infant and throw them in a ball pit, because that would be wrong. But you drop them off at one of the places that has a little fun center and some person guarding your children.
Sign all the disclaimers, then wonder if the
IKEA.
person they have.
IKEA.
Then wonder if the person who's watching your kid has been background checked.
Right.
And then just wondering if it's going to be okay and if any of the other kids threw up in the ball pit. Yeah, that's a very relaxing shopping experience for all of us.
So there you go. So just find a kid-friendly store.
No, the Smiths we go to, we love downtown, but they've grown up with our kids. All the cashiers have seen our kids for their entire life, so they're like, we've seen everything. But if you don't have that luxury, it's harder to do.
When you go to the friendly store, kid-friendly store,
Yeah.
a lot of times the playrooms have a time limit, so don't leave them there over the weekend. So number 3, schedule
tell me
time.
that.
Schedule time for yourself. Moms, dads out there, what
eyes
what
twitching again.
time do you have to do that?
Do you make time for
Don't
self?
neglect the fact that you need stuff and you need time to make you happy as well.
My eyes twitching again.
Yeah, it is twitching.
Okay.
This is to get yourself in mom mode. This is kind of sexist because it's not saying anything about dads.
And yeah, I mean, dads.
Oh, here it is.
Full
Here
of
it says,
prey.
go because you're in mom mode all the time. Used to being with friends or something. So when you do get a break, go to the spa. Erin's idea of going to the spa was getting the Captain Crunch out of her hair and the Cheerios out of other places. Partner.
so adorable.
Love this one. Partner with another mom. That's why when you drink 2 bottles of wine, it doesn't look weird.
MJ Nelson says, this is a great fairy tale. We were good kids growing up, but I never remember my folks taking naps. And Scott and Amy Johnson said, there's no time alone. There is audiences for everything.
And so bathrooms. And so basically find another mom who's got kids there at your age, your kid's age, and someone you like, and spend time. And just basically suck them in to watching your child as well. Which is
Yeah, that's going to go great.
Which is what play dates kind of are. If you knew that.
Yeah, but all of our play dates are supervisory. They're it's not like when I was a kid and they just chucked us in the backyard. You have to supervise.
When you were a kid, no one made play dates. You went out in the back and found people, and just ran around like crazy people, and that was a play date.
Not anymore. Not
Play
anymore. Is there anything else that can help that would relax me?
All you have
Help
to
me to
do is
find
really
time?
be sure to make time for yourself whenever you can, so you can keep your mind calm and continue being an awesome mom.
Oh, Tanya Price says naps are how additional kids happen.
That's funny. Wow.
Would you like to take a nap with me, honey? No.
Want to watch some Netflix?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. So you're going to find me time.
Good luck with that. That's great. Everyone on Facebook Live feels the same way. They're like, oh yeah, it's just like that.
All right. Should we get some
Eyes twitching
national?
again. Yeah, let's go to Daisy in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom, and I'll make the twitch in my eye leave. It's brought to you, of course, by Fink & McGregor. Mortgages made simple. Just go to think-mcgregor.com. You're going to find a myriad of possibilities for you, and someone will call you back from the mortgage firm within 1 business day. Also by Black Diamond Experts. Now, these are experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They just opened an Ogden office. You can go to blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, my darling, in your beautiful fuchsia lipstick, what is going on today?
Hello again, everyone. Here's a look at national and world news Thursday, September 14th on GebhardtDaily.com. 15 U.S. Marines have been injured during combat training at Camp Pendleton in California. A statement released by the 1st Marine Division said an amphibious landing craft caught fire during a land-based exercise Wednesday morning. 10 Marines have been hospitalized in critical to serious condition. The fate of the other 5 Marines was not immediately available. The type of vehicle used in the training is one that is used to transport Marines from land to sea and has been in use since the 1970s. Democratic leaders Senator Chuck Schumer and Rep. Nancy Pelosi say they've reached an agreement with Donald Trump that revives the so-called Dreamers Act. News of the bombshell agreement came after a Wednesday night dinner meeting between Trump, Schumer, and Pelosi. Should the agreement become the law of the land, some 800,000 immigrants could be spared from deportation. In exchange for Trump's support, the Democrats promised to put greater focus on securing the U.S.-Mexico border, short of building a wall. And Senator Bernie Sanders announced legislation Wednesday that offers health care to every American. Sanders called the bill Medicare for All and says the bill advocates a true single-payer health care system similar to what England has. The Medicare for All effort comes as Republicans in Congress continue to aim for a repeal of the Affordable Care Act, a prospect that has some Democrats hesitant to back the Vermont senator's plan. That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to gebhardtdaily.com. For now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, my dear Daisy. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'd like to share with you the story of people who are going to hell.
Okay.
People who are going to hell. Let me tell you why. There's a Utah County family who is desperate to get back what was stolen from them. They have a special needs son, and they're in the process of moving.
And they got a storage unit,
Yeah,
right?
so this was down 2100 North in Lehigh. They put some of their bulkier stuff in there. On Tuesday, when they went to pick some items up to move into the new place, they noticed that something wasn't right, and Cammie Burton said it's obvious that people had taken stuff. They'd made up with $4,000 worth of their belongings, but the worst part was an adaptive bike for their son, Will.
Now, Will had a problem with balance.
Yes, and so we were so excited for this bike because our family bike rides, and it's something we can all do together as a family, and
Right.
he loved it, and he
How
felt like he
important
was
that is.
there.
Yeah.
And so the storage facility security cameras recorded the suspects following a car into the gated area. Man and a woman made off the family's belongings in a Dodge. It's a white Dodge 4x4 with a University of Utah sticker on the back window. Oh, that's nice. Thanks.
Something I'd like to say.
And they said it's heartbreaking.
Of course it's heartbreaking. Video cameras, once again, proving that video cameras are there just basically to watch people steal your stuff and you not being able to do anything about it. Banks can do it. Cameras on front doors of homes can identify. Security cameras mounted on the corner of buildings that are 20 feet off the ground, not so much.
We're going to try to post the pictures of the two people because they actually did get pretty good, clear
Yeah.
pictures. But and the sad thing is, we just had something stolen literally from our driveway, and it was a trailer that was really important to Todd.
It wasn't just a trailer; it was my utility trailer,
and it
which
had
is
all
a
of our
tool I use
gardening
all the time.
tools on it, and our leaf blower
And
and
Erin's
everything.
mulch on it.
And you have that feeling of violation that people just don't care. They're going to destroy your life and take everything, and they just don't care. So
I look at every utility trailer I see when I'm driving around, and if I find mine, I'm stealing it.
So this bike, I mean, it's not covered by insurance, and it's extremely complex. It's very important to
Right,
them.
right.
If you have if you can recognize the suspects, you have any information on the theft, they would really like you to call the Lehigh Police Department. So once again, we'll try to get those photos up for you. But it's inexcusable. That they are going to hell. Sorry,
They
are going
are.
straight to hell.
They are going straight
to
to hell. Oh, you know what we need to see? We need to see John from All Utah Plumbing. Here he is.
Well, John, we're in the basement again.
How's it going?
Your office, new furnace.
Yep, we just put in this brand new 97% efficient York modulating gas valve variable speed.
That's all sexy plumber talk,
It
isn't
is
it?
sexy.
Heating and air.
What it means, it's really efficient. We just got done installing the coil. We're finishing that up today.
For air conditioning.
Yep, I'm going to show you how to care for
Yes.
the furnace.
And you should, because it's a sexy unit.
It's extremely sexy.
With that kind of talk, I'm going to leave now. Show us how.
All right, first we take the door off. Next, I take a nice soft brush and I just lightly brush the components. Of course, this one's clean, as you know, Todd, but normally you can get dust through these components. You just kind of dust things off. That's what I want the homeowner to do right around fall time. On this unit, there's a flame sensor. I recommend that a professional pulls that out and cleans it. So next thing we do is we check the filter. Obviously this one's brand new. We'll just pull it out a little bit. But that would pull all the way out, and you can get another one. This is a nice thick one, and you just put it back in.
All right, very good. There's your drink.
Thanks.
How often do you need to actually do that?
I like to do this about 2 or 3 times with the good filter that we have.
Right.
3 times a year is good.
Now, what was the thing you were talking about remodeling? You're doing some remodeling now.
Yeah, we've been doing a bunch of it. We just started one just this week where we're taking out the tub and the shower combo. We're making the shower bigger with a bench in the back of it, the whole thing.
All right, let's just review, because there's a lot to review here.
Okay, so we're a licensed plumbing contractor, licensed HVAC contractor, licensed general contractor, and we do the sprinklers as well. And there's many other things. If I don't do it, I actually know somebody that does. So I'm your go-to guy.
I'm exhausted just talking about this.
Yeah, I get to look at me.
Well, I'm going to leave you here in your office. You got your drink. I'll see you later.
See ya.
Want to see John and get him to your house, allutahplumbing.com or 801-652-4755. Coming up next, has Erin Hatch gone to the reefer?
No, he's just being sensible. We'll tell you why next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com.
All right, so Erin Hatch.
I have to admit, this one surprises me, but I'm really excited.
It really does, but I'm very proud of it.
Well, according to all of the polls they've done, they've like been 6 or 7, and they all come up pretty steady at around
69 or something
between
crazy.
63 and 69% of Utahns feel that there should be medical marijuana.
Right.
That there should be access to medical marijuana. So Senator Erin Hatch actually is paying attention to us. That's cool. He said, saying it's high time to address medical marijuana research.
Time. I got that.
He introduced bipartisan legislation to have a study as cannabis as a safe and effective treatment. Now,
Right.
he wanted to point out that he says, I don't approve of recreational smoking.
Okay,
He thinks
fine,
it can lead to higher
fine,
things.
fine.
But he said, our country has experimented with a variety of state solutions without properly delving into the weeds on the effectiveness, safety, dosing, and administration and quality of medical marijuana. And he says, so the federal government is trying to straining themselves, trying to do regulations that don't really do any good. And it's a very good point. For instance, Colorado and Nevada both have medical marijuana. However, Utah does not. So if someone's crossing the state line, even if you've got a medical marijuana license, perhaps from one of the others that's given to you,
offense.
it's a federal offense.
And there's mandatory sentencing.
So they're put in this position, too, of like, well, where they're trying to enforce something that all the states have changed.
The number one killer in the United States is opioids, overdoses. And this is something that they're studying right now as far as saying, as a replacement of that,
You cannot overdose.
you can't overdose,
marijuana.
and maybe that's a way out.
And this is pretty cool. He says, patients cannot wait for years for the science to catch up. There is an urgent need to decriminalize this alternative treatment so sick Utahns can get relief while the research moves forward.
Grandmas who aren't keeping their body mass, their body weight up, chemotherapy, all those different things, veterans, firefighters, all the people
One
who
of our
deal with
closest friends, Kirk,
horrific stuff.
who had 3 different kinds of brain cancer. His mother, who is the Relief Society president and the sweetest lady you've ever seen, Renee went over to his best friend and said, I know that you smoke the marijuana and you need to give me some for Kirk.
And they did.
But it's like,
Grandma.
This is not talking about drug abuse. It's not even talking about recreational, if you oppose it. But to talk about saving people's lives and easing their misery.
And working with your kids if they have a seizure disorder or as an adult, and we've seen this in many cases.
Particularly our children.
Dear friends who are dealing with this, and that's the way we stand.
So thank you, Senator Hatch. We really appreciate the fact that you're trying to move forward with research because it is important. I mean, it's important to know what's the right amount, how to safely diagnose it, how to dispose, all these things. So it's good.
All right. So this is cool. My favorite curvy Aussie. Rebel Wilson.
Pitch Perfect.
Pitch
She's
Perfect.
freaking adorable.
She's the curvy one. And she just won a defamation suit against a magazine. By the way, the same company that owns, look at her.
Look at her cute
that
face.
owns Woman's Day magazine,
nice.
if you remember it. And they basically made all these statements that they didn't really back up. And the fact that she lied about her age, she lied about her this and her
They
that.
called her a pathological liar.
Pathological liar and stuff. And it actually hurt her getting some other jobs after Pitch Perfect. And so she decided, well, you know what? I'm going to go after you. And so she went after him. The jury was 100% behind her.
That makes me so happy.
And so what's tell them the deal about the plea deal?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a very compelling case, and she said this was all clickbait. They knew that what they were doing was a lie, and they did it as clickbait so people would click and they would get higher, numbers on their website. But they more or less tried to destroy my career in the middle of it.
Right.
And so this magazine was so sure that they would win this anti-defamation case that they refused to settle out of court.
And
so the jury and the judge
they
gave them...
settled everything for him with $4.5 million.
Enjoy that, magazine. And the nice thing about
Would you like to read her quote?
She goes, "Today was the end of a long and hard court battle against Bauer Media, who viciously tried to take me down with a series of false articles."
Right.
When the jury delivered its verdict, they answered every single point in my favor. I'm looking forward to helping out some great Australian charities and supporting the Oz film industry with the damages I've received.
Ta-da.
Also looking forward to getting back to my career and entertaining everyone. She donated all the money to charity.
Screw you, Women's Day.
Good for you, sweetie.
All right, I need the back page of this. All right,
Okay.
so you something about a museum.
Well, I thought this was so funny. It was on Twitter yesterday, and it's Ask a Curator. As a hashtag, you're like, well, because that's not like
of a museum.
Yeah, it's not like a sexy topic, like, where people are like, oh, I'll talk about that. But what they were asking basically is, do you have anything in your inventory at the museum? Do you have anything that would that you'd be embarrassed for your mom to see, essentially?
Okay, so a lot of these things, and the Smithsonian included, because I've been in the basements, don't show everything all at once. They rotate the different things. So are they talking about
Yes.
stuff that's in the closet?
So there's some of the curators. One guy said, not sure if my mother would be too enamored by a brothel token from the shady lady saloon inscribed for good for one screw. Another one, he's said, my mother's a tough cookie, but I'm guessing that the nudity in Mars and Venus could be perhaps a bit shocking. It is very blatant, like all these naked cherubs and naked.
Right.
Edinburgh Museum said, we have a rather graphic good sex guide.
I wonder from what era, and I wonder what. Never mind.
There's one that I don't know if they've showed this picture yet.
Yeah, they will.
But Lucy Moore actually works at the Smithsonian and put up this
Underwear.
hideous pair of underwear that's got a banana on it saying, I'm having a hard day.
When would this come from? Let's go back up, because this came from like a long time ago.
Isn't that hideous? It's 70s, I believe. They said they had one museum said, we have an autographed poem entitled The Sweepers Being Young Lusty Wenches. They went, that one was awful.
That's funny.
We have a set of 18th century erotic tiles that were used in a brothel with very graphic imagery on them, not showing them to my mom. And this was my personal favorite, a tuft of hair of a young woman as part of a collection of love letters. The hair is not
Oh,
from her.
okay.
Who knew you curators were so kinky?
Crazy, and they keep them. That's the funny part. All right, so we started off the show this morning, and we talked about all the rescuers and stuff, the Key West and Florida, as they did in Houston, and they're down there and they're still working hard and still working hard. But a lot of times they don't get to all the jobs they have to do, and sometimes citizens have to take it in their own hands, and that's why we will now show you again, because we appreciate her so much, the Nun with a Chainsaw.
That'd make a great band title, wouldn't it?
No, really?
I know.
That
Nun
would be
with
great.
a chainsaw.
All right, we're Todd and Erin in the morning stream, GephartDaily.com. Enjoy the Nun with a Chainsaw.